Okay, so this video here, we're going to be talking about the initial setup of AutoCAD. So if you haven't already done this, there are some things that we have to do. So let's go ahead and start AutoCAD here. Okay. Um, there are a few fonts we'll have to install, a couple of custom hatches that we have that are not part of the AutoCAD default library. Um, and there are some settings that we're going to be setting up, and then last but not certainly not least, we're going to be setting up our tool palettes within AutoCAD. All right, so by default, let me close out of some things. Let me go back to the default AutoCAD screen. All right, so let's start with the fonts. So the fonts are very easy. If you'd like, you can either ask me where those are located, or if you are in the engineering in-house drive, find that real quick. It is within, there we go, within the OSW cloud server. There is a folder in here called engineering in-house. If you are synced to this team, and you're looking for the fonts that we're going to be installing, they are going to be located within this fonts folder here. Okay, so you can see there are several fonts located right here. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to right click on those fonts, if it'll let me do it, and we're going to copy those fonts and we're going to paste them into our documents folder. So real important, you want to go to your actual computer's documents folder. If you'd like to, it would be helpful also to label this as a folder called fonts. Now here you can go ahead and label that folder there, and oops, for some reason it didn't copy. I gotta go back real quick. Anyways, we're going to be taking the fonts right out of that folder, pasting them into our documents folder that we just created for the fonts. So documents, fonts, and paste. All right. Now that we're here, we have all the fonts pasted onto our actual physical computer hard drive instead of in the cloud. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to right click on each font, and depending on your Windows, if you have Windows 10 or Windows 11, Windows 10, you should see an option for install for all users on here. If you're using Windows 11, you may just see an install. Now, the important thing is if you're on 10, you do want to make sure you are using the one with the shield called install for all users. If you do not use this on Windows 10, it actually will not allow you to use these fonts within AutoCAD or Bluebeam, which is really weird, but you got to trust the process. So you're going to install for all users if you have that option. Once you've installed all of these fonts to your machine, you actually don't need to worry about these anymore. You can close right out of them. So those fonts from there on will show up in all your other programs like Word, Excel, AutoCAD, Bluebeam, etc. The other thing you're going to want to do is back in your File Explorer under the Engineering in-house drive, there is a specific hatch that we have that we are using that is not in AutoCAD default, just one. So we're going to go to A hatches here. And that hatch is called legno1.pat. Okay, so what you want to do, again, just like before with the fonts, you're going to copy this legno1 hatch. And then you're going to follow me. We're going to take it over to our AutoCAD folder. Okay, so to get there, you're going to go to your, let's see, we need to go to our PC. We're going to go to our local disk C drive. And we need to go to, make sure I have this right. Okay, cool. I do. Okay, just want to make sure. So within your C drive, you should see a folder called users here. So you're going to open that folder there. You're going to click on your name. And then in your folder here, you will not see this by default. You're going to have to go up to view. And by default, this is unchecked in Windows. So what you're going to need to do is check this hidden items box under view. And once you have that checked, you are going to see a folder called app data. You're going to go into that folder. You're going to go into the roaming folder from there. And then from there, you want to go to Autodesk. Find your current software that you're using. So 2025 for us here today. And then just follow these folders until you get to a folder called support. Once you're in that support folder, again, this should be the file path that you want to be in. You're going to take the right click and you're going to hit paste, and you're going to drop that Legno 1 hatch right in here. Once that Legno 1 hatch is in this folder, to make sure I have it, there it is right there. Once it's in this folder, it should show up in AutoCAD by default. If you are not seeing it in AutoCAD after you've placed that hatch in this folder, you will want to go ahead and restart AutoCAD, and from there, it should be in your system. I guess even if it doesn't work, then you can restart your computer and then it should be there. But I think just restarting AutoCAD will be enough to get it to show up. Anyway, so that will give you the solid wood hatch that we have, which is not a AutoCAD default. It's an aftermarket add-on that we have in our system. All right, let's go back to AutoCAD. And we kind of talked about this in the last video, but there are some things we need to recap on. So three settings that we do need to change by default within AutoCAD. So the first one is called DYN mode. DYN mode for dynamic mode. I'm going to go ahead, hit enter, and this will be set to a different number by default. Please be sure to make sure that this is set to a digit of 3. That's DYN mode equals 3. Okay, so once that command is set, you need to go to the next command, which is called selection anno display, all one word, and you're going to make sure that this is set to 0. By default, it will be 1. We are going to set it to 0. And then the last one you're going to want to change is called HP Quick Preview. HP Quick Preview needs to be turned off. It will be on by default. You're going to want it turned off, so it'll save you from crashing your AutoCAD. Okay, so those 3 settings are very important when you're starting AutoCAD for the first time. If you switch computers or you update your AutoCAD to a newer year, you may have to also restart those commands too and reset those settings. But those are 3 really important ones to make sure that you have set by default. All right, the last thing that we're going to do today is we're going to go over tool palettes. So tool palettes in AutoCAD, there will be, you can type it in your command prompt, hit enter. It will prompt this little sidebar to show up. Now, by default, you will see the default AutoCAD tool palettes within this toolbar over here. In order to update that and change it out to what you would like for your current on-site tool palettes, what you need to do is right-click on where it says tool palettes and then go to customize palettes. Okay, once you've clicked that, this little menu will show up, and what you're going to do, this might seem sacrilege here, but you're going to right-click on each of these groups, and you're going to, each of these, and you're going to hit remove. You're going to delete each one of these items, in your AutoCAD defaults, and then you'll come over here and you'll delete each one of these items over here. Now, it does not delete it forever. It won't delete it for every user that uses those tool palettes, but what it will do is it will hide them from showing up in your AutoCAD when you actually use these tool palettes. Okay, so once you've deleted all of these, and side tip too, it will make you keep one of these palettes in your system, even if you delete all of them. It will give you an error, and it will make you have to have one, but that's okay. So once you've deleted everything in here, you're going to go right click and you're going to go to import, and you're going to import all of the on-site tool palettes from there. So go to import. This menu will show up on top, and you're going to navigate over to the OSW drive. So we can go find that OSW, and you're going to find the engineering in-house folder. And then within that folder, you're going to go down to A templates, and then tool palettes. Okay, now if you scroll to the very bottom of this menu here, you're going to want to click on each individual one of these, hit open, and because I already have that in my system, it's not going to, oh, well, it did actually bring it in, but you're going to have to import every one of these individually, which is kind of a pain, but it will save you a lot of time in the long run. So you're going to import all of these black and white icons here, these XTP files. All of those XTP files will then show up on this sidebar over here. Once you have them all imported, then what you're going to do is you're going to go over to where your palette groups are, and you're going to right click in there, and you're going to hit import. And then just like before, you're going to navigate to your OSW drive. You're going to go down to the engineering in-house folder, A templates, tool palettes, and then again at the very bottom you should see these XPG files down here. These are palette groups, which are essentially just a folder that you place your tool palettes in. So you want to import every one of these. You're going to click on one, hit open, go to import again, click on the next one, hit open, and so on. Then what you're going to see is something like this, where you have all these blue icons on the right-hand side and all of these kind of grayed out icons on the left-hand side. Now, these grayed out icons are the actual blocks themselves, and these are the folders that you're going to be placing them in. And so as you place those blocks in here, it's really important that you kind of drag and drop these in to their correct location. So if you go like floor plans, you're going to drag and drop that into on-site annotation. Magnets, you're going to drag and drop that into on-site hardware, and so on. So you can pause the video at this point. You're going to use this to use as your template, and you're going to drag and drop these tool palettes into these palette groups. Once you've unpaused the video, you've got all that set up, you can just hit close, and then from there on out, if you go and type in tool palettes, you should see this sidebar over here. By default, it's going to look crazy. It's going to look like this, where all palettes are visible, but you just right click on here and it allows you to access those palette groups individually, so you can actually just see one group over the other instead of showing every single palette. So that's your tool palettes, and that should be about it then for this AutoCAD setup video. There's nothing further you have to do. That's it. It's simple as installing those fonts for all users, installing the solid wood hatch Legno 1, changing your DYN mode to a factor of 3, changing your selection anno display to 0, and changing your HP quick preview to off. And then following that, you just set up your tool palettes, which does take some time, so don't get too frustrated with that. It will take time, but it will also save you a ton of time in the long run. by having those there and accessible to you in your drawing.